Alright guys, we have here a 2002 EZGO TXT gas. And the issue with this one is gotta be the most common question I get in the YouTube comments is, I've checked everything and I can't get my cart to crank over or get my cart to start. Alright, so this one here has a crank. No, I'm sorry. This one here doesn't do anything when you step on the pedal. Have it in neutral. I didn't test anything on this yet. So we'll turn the pedal off, or brake off, key on, nothing. We don't even have a solenoid click. So I'm going to take you through the diagnosis process that I take in order trying to find out what's going on with the golf cart. Okay, so there's a couple different places I like to start. First one is going to check the condition of the battery. Plus, minus, the battery's not anchored in very good. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. That's alright, battery's good. So we know it's not a bad battery. One thing I did notice is our lights are very bright, so they do work. I'm assuming that fuse is for the lights. So the next thing I'm going to check is the system fuse in here. I have a feeling that might be what it is. But this is what you have to do basically in this order. Alright, so once you get that cover off, it all depends on your cart. Some of them are going to have a blade fuse, some of them are going to have a glass tube fuse, which in this case we've already found the issue, or at least one of the issues. The connector for the main electrical harness here has basically failed and has fallen apart right in my hands. See, here's the fuse holder. So, and the wire broke right off, and the fuse is intact, but everything is corroded and gnarly. So we're going to just replace all this with an ATC style fuse. And you can see that connector broke right off. So both ends of the connector broke off. The one that was on the fuse holder itself and the one coming from the main harness just corroded right off, which it happens. You know, it's one of those things. Electricity and water. You get galvanic corrosion and then eventually it just fails. We're going to disconnect the battery and get it out of the way to give us a little bit more working room. But it's a very straightforward fix, so let's get started. Let's start with this. Get this out of the way. This way I don't kill the cart in any way, nor will I short out the battery, melt any wires, or any other type of electrical damage. And it's also to give me more access to this area with the tools. Now, this battery was not anchored down properly, so we'll take this bolt out. Wasn't very tight. Alright, so here's the broken wire. This part here goes onto the always hot side of the solenoid, which is basically the same lead that comes from the battery. And this is the part that went to the fuse holder, which we're going to now replace with the spade style or an ATC style fuse holder. Alright, so we're going to use one of these, weather tight. It's part number ACC0019. Let's see here. Very nice unit. No fuses included. We're going to throw a 10 amp fuse in it, but we'll do that last. Alright, so we're going to use this 10 to 12 gauge, or 12 to 10 gauge wire ring terminal with a 3/8 hoop. Okay, we'll also strip out this end here. This will receive this end here will get the female spade connector. Keep it nice and tight. This end here, we'll just cut this end right off. And we're going to splice in a male spade connector. And then we're going to use the 16 to 14 gauge, which is the blue, on this end. And then we're going to heat shrink this to keep it from shorting out against anything. and also kind of keep the weather out of it as well. We'll reinstall the hardware back on the solenoid. Okay, so we slip the heat shrink tubing on. Let's make the connection. Cover this connector here with the heat shrink tubing. Alright, so there's our new connection made up. Okay, there we go. That's tight now. That's how it should be. So now when we start it, it should crank. Alright guys, so that was a really simple fix. We didn't have to go too in depth with this particular issue. Sometimes you have to go further, sometimes you don't. It all depends on the situation with your cart. It's one of those things you can't just say, okay, it's this. You have to diagnose it. And this is where you always start. You always start at your battery. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it and subscribe to see more videos in the future, which I have a lot coming down the pike for you. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.